Hey everybody, Adam here with Hometown Acres. Welcome back. If you watched our last video, you saw me take down this maple tree here. Normally I don't like taking down live trees, but this one had no future possibility of becoming valuable for timber. A lot of it was crooked. There was multi-stems coming out of it. One of the stems was rotted. And so since it's wintertime and we're taking firewood out of the woods while we can, we decided to take this one out and let some of our more valuable trees grow. So in the last video, I took the tree down and started cleaning up the treetop. Off camera, I finished cleaning up the treetop because I figured you guys probably don't want to sit there and watch me clean up a giant mess. But I got that cleaned up, and now we are at the point in the process that is my favorite, and that is bucking up the larger branches and the trunk of the tree for firewood. The reason I like this part so much is because you get that instant gratification. You can spend a half an hour cutting, and at the end of the half hour, you have a huge pile of firewood to take back to the yard and split. Just kind of instant reward, and I like that. But before we get to bucking up the rest of the trunk, I want to show you a couple safety hazards. All right, so here's that maple tree that I took down in that last video. You can see the treetop's all cleaned up. I got it pulled off to the side of the trail over there. I've got 3 separate piles here. My plan for that is at some point I'm gonna get a grapple for the tractor, and I'll be able to pile all this stuff up into one big brush pile this summer once it has a chance to dry out, and I'll burn it. And then after I got all that done, I started bucking up the main trunk here. And before I got any further into this tree, I wanted to show you 2 hazards that I'm dealing with. One is this small 2 to 3 inch branch that is spring loaded here. As you can see, a lot of tension there. As soon as I make this cut, this is gonna release and go that way. So I'm gonna need to make sure I'm out of the way for that. And the other hazard I'm gonna have to deal with here is this widowmaker that is caught up in the top of that tree up there. You can see where it broke off right here off of this main stem. And I kind of have 2 things working against me with this, and one is that it broke off like a spear, so it is just pointed right into the ground, and the other is that it's so vertical. Normally, the more horizontal it gets, the easier it is to pull it out, so we're gonna have to deal with that and figure that one out. Well, I'm all right, but that just goes to show you how unpredictable this stuff can be. I mean, I knew exactly what was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna spring out this way, but that thing split from all the way here, all the way up there, and you can see it on this one too. Well, that went about as I expected it to. There's so much weight from that whole tree all focused and concentrated on just one point stuck in the ground, and the side-by-side couldn't pull it even with 4-wheel drive. I don't even think if I had the tractor here, I would have been able to pull that out. So the next plan of attack is going to be to start chunking it here, you know, every 3 or 4 feet, just taking pieces out and slowly swinging it this way, so that way there's less weight on the point, also squaring off the end so it doesn't dig into the ground as much. Obviously, whenever I take a big chunk out here, it's going to swing this way into this wood. So I think before I start messing with this widowmaker here, I'm going to start trying to buck up this wood and get this out of the way. All right, guys, so the more I work in and around this widowmaker, the more and more nervous I get about taking it down, because when I do eventually go to make a cut in it, it's going to come down quick. When you're felling a tree, it's a little different because it kind of slowly starts to tip real slow, and you've got some time to get out of the way. This thing, the way that it's already leaning, it's gonna come down quick when it does come down. Like I've said in past videos, I'm not a professional, I'm not a logger, I'm not a forester. I'm just some guy out here cutting wood on my property. So if you guys have any suggestions on how to take this Widowmaker down safely, I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, I might leave this Widowmaker for an ice storm or a windstorm to bring down on its own. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Click that subscribe button, check out some other videos, and thanks for watching.